Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named South Language in the dating advice subreddit. The post is titled, "Dating a Girl with Severe Hygiene Issues. She hasn't showered in 6 days. How do I break up with her without crushing her? I've been seeing a girl for about 3 weeks. We have slept together 3 or 4 times. She seemed quite pretty, so I expected a certain level of grooming and hygiene. The reality has been shocking. There's a serious hygiene issue, specifically in the perineal area. The smell is so strong that it makes my stomach turn. I physically can't finish during sex because the odor is such a turn-off. She also doesn't groom or shave at all. She's of Asian origin, and I initially thought this might be cultural, but it's definitely adding to the odor. Recently, she casually mentioned that she hadn't showered in 6 days. The problem is that she's in full honeymoon mode. She's love bombing me, calling me baby, buying gifts, and leaving items at my place. She thinks everything is perfect. I want to end it immediately because I'm physically repulsed. However, I'm afraid of her reaction since she's already so attached and she knows where I live. How do I end this over text? I don't want to meet in person without telling her you smell terrible, but still make sure she doesn't show up at my door. Is the no chemistry excuse enough? And would sending such a text during this honeymoon phase be too emotionally destructive for her? Update. Thank you for the advice on my previous post. To those asking how I could be intimate with her given the hygiene issues, honestly, I couldn't really perform fully. As for the smell, it wasn't like an infectious odor, it was more like that typical scent you get when someone hasn't washed for a while. I also think the unshaved perineal area was amplifying the odor. Why did I try? Because she was cute, sweet, and I genuinely wanted to give her another chance. I kept hoping that maybe the next time would be different. I also tried dropping hints. I made a point of washing myself immediately after every time we were intimate. I showered every morning we spent together. She never did. She would just watch me shower and not join. I was trying to lead by example without being hurtful. The breakup. Eventually, I sent her the breakup message. I didn't tell her she smelled terrible. I used the classic chemistry and commitment issues excuse. She didn't take it well and immediately went into guilt-tripping mode, saying I had killed her belief in love. Personally, I think a 3-week relationship is a bit early for developing love. I feel bad for hurting her feelings, but physically, I'm just relieved I don't have to deal with the smell anymore. I'm not replying to her messages. Jazzy Share said, as a woman, it sucks to be told that something is wrong with me physically, but if it's something I can fix, like a hygiene issue I don't even realize I'm not keeping up with properly, yeah, I'd be mortified, but I'd 100% rather know than get some fake excuse. It's never easy to hear something like that, but it's so much better than being lied to. Ryugen said, honestly, I'm with him on how he handled this. We often tell women to trust their instincts and prioritize their own safety when breaking up with someone. And honestly, I think he did that here. He was being so cautious around this girl that he couldn't even ask her to join him in the shower as a fun, flirty thing. He even described her affection toward him as love bombing. I feel like there was a pretty clear mental health issue going on with this woman that OP was trying really hard to ignore, even before and definitely after they started having sex, because he liked her attention and found her attractive. The smell was just the straw that broke the camel's back, since it was too obvious to keep pretending it wasn't an issue. And considering how she reacted when he ended this 3-week relationship, yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to be completely honest with her either. Let the people who are actually close to her or who plan to be in it for the long haul tell her that kind of truth. The second story was made in the AITA subreddit by a user named Mediocre Blue Jay. The post is titled, I told my wife I don't give a damn how she drives when it's just her and her kids in the car, but if it's me or our kids inside, then she must be safe. My wife had 2 kids before we got married and they have an actively involved father. We've since had 2 children of our own. My wife is a terrible driver, but she refuses to acknowledge it. She has been in multiple accidents and even had her license suspended, not for anything like driving under the influence, but simply because she's a bad driver. She'll do things like reach into the back seat to deal with a child instead of either pulling over or letting me or one of the older kids handle it. She got T-boned in August of last year because she took her foot off the brake at a red light to pick up our son's soother that had fallen. She hadn't put the car in park. Thankfully, only she was injured. All 4 kids were in the car. I've had enough. I told her that she's welcome to endanger herself if she chooses, but if I'm in the car or if our children are, she must keep her eyes on the road and her hands on the steering wheel. She's finally at the point in her rehab where she can drive again. I reminded her of what I said. I told her that I love her, that her older kids are important to me, and that I love them too. But I made it clear that if she ever does something reckless behind the wheel again, our relationship will be over, and I'll push to make it part of the divorce that she not be allowed to drive with my children in the car. She started crying and said she didn't do it on purpose. I asked how she could accidentally take her hands off the wheel, undo her seatbelt, take her foot off the brake, and turn around to pick up the soother. She said I was treating her like an idiot. I don't think I am. My children's safety has to come first. Before you ask, I try to do as much of the driving as possible. I've stopped drinking when we go out. I even traded in my car, which I loved, for an SUV, so there's room for all of us. I've offered to pay for Uber rides if I'm not available, but she actually likes driving. Her ex and her parents are on my side. Her ex told her that if she ever endangers his kids again, he'll go for full custody, or ask that she be legally barred from driving with them. Her parents have even threatened to stop helping her pay her insanely high insurance premiums. She thinks we're all being unfair because she loves her kids and would never intentionally harm them. She just loses focus when one of the kids needs something and doesn't think to ask for help. Update. My wife was involved in a single vehicle accident. She was seriously injured, but thank goodness no one else was in the car with her. I've spoken to her about her driving habits before, and I warned her. I went to see her in the hospital, and then I went to a lawyer. I'm also filing for full custody, with only supervised visitation for her. I'm sick to death of her reckless driving, and I refuse to wait for her to injure or kill one of our kids with her negligence. I feel bad about doing this while she's in the hospital and facing charges, but I can't take any more chances with her. Update 2. I'll summarize. My ex must have had ADHD or something. She would be driving and then decide to look in the back seat or on the floor of the car instead of pulling over. She was badly hurt when she took off her seatbelt at a red light to get a soother my kid had dropped rather than pulling over and parking. I told her that if she ever did something like that again, I would divorce her and take custody. She was in physical rehab for a while. Later, she drove into a canal by the mall because she didn't put the car in park while reaching for paperwork in the back seat. After my ex drove her car into a canal, I was done. I knew she was going to get my kids injured or worse. Both I and her ex went for full custody of our kids, and part of the divorce settlement in my case was that she wasn't allowed to drive my children anywhere. Our divorce was rough and I still loved her, but I couldn't risk my kids' safety. She got a dog. The dash cam her insurance company required her to have showed that the dog was making retching noises in the back seat. She turned around to see what the dog was doing and drifted into oncoming traffic where she was hit by a semi. My kids lost their mom. Their older siblings lost their mom. I lost a co-parent I still cared about. Her parents lost a daughter. I feel awful, but a few of you asked for an update. I think I'll be forgetting about this account forever now. I probably won't reply to any questions. I just felt like the people who helped me before might want closure. Crippling Anxiety said, I don't understand people like the wife. If you touch a hot stove and get burned, why would you keep touching it while it's still hot? The same logic applies to her driving. I'm sad for the children, the semi-driver, and the dog. But as for her, this was simply the natural consequence of her actions. Neil Liu said, my mother, she's been burning her hands her whole life. She'll be 47 soon, but she still touches pots, pans, and their lids with her bare hands while cooking. No gloves, no towels, nothing, just bare hands. She's burned herself hundreds of times and still keeps doing it. It's not as dangerous as reckless driving, but your comment specifically reminded me of it. This third story was made in the same subreddit by a user named Ancient Champion. The post is titled, I reminded my brother of our parents' sacrifices after he insulted them. My mom and dad aren't educated. They came from poverty. My dad sold vegetables and my mom worked as a tailor. We are 3 children, me, 26F, my brother, 22M, the brat, and my eldest sister, 28F. Despite not having many resources, our parents gave us a good education and made sure we all earned degrees. They even took a loan for me to study in a neighboring state, and I've been trying to make up for all the sacrifices they made. My mom even sold her gold to support our needs. Both my sister and I work at a national bank and earn enough to take care of our parents who have no savings for retirement. We both married wonderful men, and we've been clear from the start that we would take care of our parents, and our husbands supported that completely. Our parents live with my elder sister, and they help care for her children, so it works well for everyone. Buying jewelry for my mom was one of the proudest moments of my life. Our brother, however, has always hated our parents' professions. He used to feel embarrassed to have our mom attend parent-teacher meetings because she couldn't speak English. His teachers noticed his attitude, and my parents felt deeply hurt throughout his school life. Even when my sister and I tried to correct him, our parents asked us not to, saying it was just a teenage phase. They had wanted a son because of pressure from our grandparents, but they always gave all three of us equal love and opportunity. We supported him through engineering college and helped our parents fund it. He got placed in 3 major companies and later passed the country's most competitive engineering exam, which would give him a prestigious and stable government officer job until retirement at 60, a job that commands immense respect. He's the most academically successful among us. To celebrate, we planned a party at my house, and he wanted to invite some high-ranking people. He asked us to keep our parents at home, but my sister and I made it clear that wasn't going to happen and that he needed to be respectful. At the party, when one of the officers asked where his parents were, he said they were home resting. Unfortunately, our mother overheard him. She started crying and told our dad, and both decided to leave. When I asked what happened, they finally told me. My sister and I snapped. We confronted our brother and told him about all the sacrifices our parents made for him. We told him what a pathetic failure of a son he was and that we would be cutting him off from now on. We reminded him that we had always given him too many free passes as the youngest child, but we wouldn't tolerate any more disrespect toward our parents who had given us everything. He yelled back, saying our parents' work wasn't respectable, but his senior officials and friends stopped him. They all said he was pathetic and that they wanted nothing to do with him. One of the officers even said he had grown up in an orphanage and scolded my brother for his arrogance. After the party, my brother lost us, his friends, and even his professional reputation. He kept messaging us from different accounts, but we've blocked them all. My parents still say we should give him another chance, but that isn't going to happen. My mom keeps saying that he's still young and that we shouldn't be so harsh with him, which makes me wonder if I ruined my brother's reputation. Update. Instead of apologizing, he doubled down and has gone completely no contact. He's blocked all of us. My parents have finally seen the truth and decided to let him go from their hearts. My sister and I earn well enough to take care of them in their old age and to support our own families. We're taking them on a trip across Asia this summer. We love our brother, but he can't be babied by us forever. I'm making sure my son doesn't turn out like him. I'm teaching him every chore just like his sister and helping him grow up humble and self-reliant. My brother was academically gifted, but I wish his heart had been gifted too. I still wish him success in life, but I won't be taking him back, even if he wants to come back. I can be very cold when I need to be. He will never be allowed in my life again unless he makes a public apology. A simple sorry won't be enough. Anyway, I recently bought a house through my own hard work, and I won't let him spoil my happiness anymore. I'm thankful to my parents for giving me an education and helping me succeed in life. I just wish he had understood their sacrifices. I am here to bore you said, yeah, this is definitely India, and let me tell you, selling your gold is a very, very big deal. It's seen as a dark mark on how people view your ability to raise and provide for your family, unfortunately. It's like that scene in Cinderella Man where he has to hold out his cap, but honestly, it's even worse. I was so happy to read that she bought her mom jewelry. These are very strong women who can truly hold down the fort. C. Temporary said he was lectured by senior officers and still doubled down. That's absolutely insane.